Hormozi Nation, what it do? The number one question that I continue to get on Instagram and on this channel is, what are the habits that created some of the success we have? And so in this video, I want to walk you through the 4 highest ROI habits that have yielded outsized returns. If you don't know who I am or haven't been to this channel, my name is Alex Hormozi. I own acquisition.com. We do about $85 million a year. It's a portfolio company. The reason I make this channel is because a lot of people are broke and I don't want you to be one of them. And of the videos that I've made, this one is actually from the past. I had a private community that I used to just put videos in for fun over the last 5 years, over 300 of them. And this video was one of the top 1% videos. And so I wanted to share it with you guys publicly. Enjoy. Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are having a fantastic, amazing, tremendous Thursday. I wanted to make a quick video for you. I actually woke up with this on my mind and I thought I would share it. And so I'm calling this my 4 highest ROI habits. And I know I probably should say 3 because 3 is probably a better number. But 4 was what I was really thinking about. These are the things that were learned behaviors that I think, if I look back on behaviors that have propelled us forward faster, these are the 4 things that have done that. The first one is waking up at 4 a.m. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the second habit. So I'll kind of put these together, which is consistent bedtimes. And that includes weekends. So basically consistent time going to bed and consistent time waking up. And I know that sounds minor, but a lot of times, and for a long period of my life, I would wake up early 5 days a week. And then on weekends, I would sleep in and I'd go to bed late because I was like, I'm living on the weekends and during the week I'm working. And I did that for a long period of time. The thing is like your body doesn't work that way. I think there's the consistency in the most basic way is literally going to bed at the same time weekend and weekday and waking up at the same time weekend and weekday. I know this sounds really minor, but like especially that 4 a.m. wake up time, like us as entrepreneurs, like I think we're a little bit more reactive than most people are from an emotional standpoint. Like I think we're also a little bit more scattered by nature. I don't like to speak that over myself, but I think that that's like our intrinsic programming and that we can work away from that. That's why I talk so much about controlling your space, controlling your attention, is that like we're so much more prone to reactivity, which is also why we want to solve problems faster because we're more uncomfortable than everyone else is, which is why we naturally move towards problem solving, right? And so waking up at 4 a.m. allows me to get all of my self-work done in the morning and still have 2, 3, 4, 5 sometimes dedicated hours to moving the big dominoes forward, the big projects that are going to make massive impact in the business and are working on the business, not in it. Basically, once I hit, 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., I would love to tell you that like, oh, I have 4 hours of CEO time in the middle of the day that everyone knows that I can't be reached. The problem is that like, if you have a lawyer call come in because we have some, thing or whatever, like I'm going to take the call. If we have a personnel issue where someone's like going nuts, you know what I mean? Like I'm going to take the call. And so like, it sure would sound nice to say like, yeah, I mean, we're so disciplined at Gym Lunch that Alex never gets, brought in anything. And to be fair, the team is awesome. And like, I really don't get brought into a lot of stuff. But the thing is, it's like my attention still gets pulled during the day once everyone else is kind of up. But from like 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock is like my time. And that's where I really move like all of these big projects forward. And that's why like, we're like, how do you get so much done so fast? It's just like, I just think most people don't get very much done during their days at all because they're working in their business, not on it. And so we just are able to do a lot of things on the business, which then accelerates the entire growth of the business. Cause these are like the bricks that you lay on the business are the ones that accelerate growth. The things you do in the business is kind of like, one is investment, one is spending cash. You know what I mean? Like an expense of time is how you're running your business. An investment of time is what's going to move the entire business forward. And so it's like, are you putting investment time in? And so for me, 4 a.m. to like 9 is like that time period. The 2 first success, like I don't want to say success habits because that sounds lame, but like basically the habits that have made me the most money, waking up at 4 a.m. And that is enabled by going to bed consistently at the same time on weekdays and weekends. It's just like, you can't wake up at 9, 2 days a week, and then wake up 5 hours earlier and expect to be like a productive individual. It's just not going to happen. So like, I would implore you to just like, and we were like, well, what about like concerts and like things that are like going out with people? Like there's a reason entrepreneurs live the way they do. Like really high level entrepreneurs live a certain way, and it is a sacrifice. I mean, if you see it that way, it is a choice. And so like, I choose that life.
And that's the life that I choose. You don't have to choose that. Just understand that like you're going to, like that's your trade-off. Like, and for me, going out to dinner at 7:30 on Friday is not important to me. I'd rather go, like all of my friends who are here in Austin know that like if they're gonna go out with Alex and Layla, we're going to dinner at 5:45. So that we like get there, we're seated, we get served, like we're eating by 6:15 and we can leave by 7, drive home by 7:30, and then we can wind down. Right? Like they know that going into it. It's just like if you don't want to play that, then like that's cool. And it means that like our relationship isn't valuable enough for you to eat dinner earlier. And that's fine. You know what I mean? Most people are game to do that, and they're like, you know, it's so nice being able to get back at 8 and like not ruin your routine. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. Like that's why we do it. So first two, waking up early, and then consistent bedtimes on the weekends especially. The next one is, this is a little bit different. This is something that Layla has told me has been like one of the things that she observed early on in our relationship before she like knew me as her husband, but like just a guy that she thought was doing things. And this, man, it sounds kind of weird saying it, but like this was her observation that she thought I should bring up in this, was that like genuinely trying to give to other people in your network without expectation. I've always been voted like into like president and leadership positions and like every organization. Like when I was in high school, I was president of the newspaper and president of the literary magazine. When I went to college, I was president, VP of the powerlifting team and president of the fraternity I was in. Like it's just like, you know what I mean? Like it continues on. And the thing is like most people think about leadership is that like I have to be the big boss man. It doesn't work that way. For those who've ever studied it, it's like the people who get voted into power are the people that like it's funny, people always think like the president of the fraternity is the one that's like the biggest rager, but the person that they want to vote into president is the one who's going to take the punch bowl away to make sure that like when the party's getting going, to make sure that like we don't get arrested and like, you know, like things happen the way they're supposed to. And it comes from a place of serving. It's literally just giving without expectation. And that comes to clients. And a lot of times I would say some of the highest ROI givings that I've done have been to people in my network where they're like, hey man, do you know anything about this? And then I will go the extra mile to connect them with not one person, but like 4 people, do some initial screening myself and say, hey man, like this is what I saw, this is what it looks like, here's 2 people that I think might be able to help you. And then this is my experience with it. And they're like, holy shit, like, thank you. That's like awesome. And then what happens is like you actually form a much better relationship because they're like, wow, this person like really cared, right? And then also in the future, if I say like, hey man, do you know anything about this? Then they return the favor, right? And so Layla jokes about, she's like, you have so many favors that you like have uncalled upon, like so many IOUs. She's like, I feel like whenever we need something, like you have 3 people you can call who immediately jump to help you. And the only reason that happens is because I jump to help them with nothing, like expecting nothing back, but just because I know that like long-term, they may have something or know someone who, and it's not because of that, it's just like, and that's why it's like sort of a nature nurture, you know, whatever. But I can tell you, like, if you can help people, you will get more back. And your reputation will also follow from that. So those are probably the 3 biggest ROI habits. The 4th one is what Layla said that I should mention, where she's like, you should say something about sales. I joked back with her. I was like, I think that's more of a skill set and not a habit, not a behavior. If there were to be a habit that would be associated with that, it's jumping into a skill that you are not good at with the expectation that my first 20 hours, I expect 0 return on. And so like, if you can look at new skills that you are not good at or do not, like, we always have this discomfort with acquiring new skills. Like, let's say, I don't know how to run Facebook ads. I don't know how to make a landing page. I don't know how to manage a team, whatever it is, right? Like, you're going to suck for a while. I think if you can remove the emotional blockage that stops you from taking action, because most of us don't start that new thing because we're afraid of sucking. Like, just being real, like, we're emotionally afraid of sucking at it. And so if you think to yourself, I'm going to get 0 ROI from my first 20 hours, ironically, the first 20 hours is where you get like 70% of your gains in any new skill. And then like everything after like hour number 20 is like massive diminishing returns that happens after that, right? And so like, if you just jump into it with 0 expectation for the first 20 hours, you'd be amazed at like how many people here, if they actually tried, like those of you who are on here, were like, man, I really need to learn how to market. If you Google how to run a Facebook ad and you spend 20 hours watching videos on how to do it, you will be better than 99% of people who try and market, because no one does anything. Like, seriously, like no one does anything. And like most people suck at most things, including the things they think they're good at, right? And those ones they ultimately usually aren't that good at either. It's because their pride, because they associate the fact that they're good at it, and then they stop learning because they think they are good because of their ego. And so that's actually what the fourth one was going to be. I was like, I know she said sales. So I think that the fourth habit is absolute responsibility for all situations. It's absolute ownership of your life. If anything happens at any time in my relationship with Layla, with my relationship with an employee, with my relationship with the marketplace, whatever it is, you have to school yourself and literally beat the victim out of yourself. Like you have to drag it and beat the crap out of it until it has no strength in your life. Saying like, I'm going to blame my circumstances, I'm going to blame my past, I'm going to blame my upbringing, I'm going to blame my spouse, I'm going to blame my employees, whatever it is, it does not move you forward if you point the finger anywhere but yourself, because then it literally gives the power away to where you're pointing your finger. You're saying, I want the power to be away from me. Like, I want the power to be away from me. And then I'm talking to my clients too. Like, if you ever blame Jim Lunch, and like, I will take complete and extreme ownership over all of your situations because that is my job. But if you want to grow as an entrepreneur, you should take extreme ownership and put nothing on our business. And I'm talking to you like person to person, right? Like I will always try and over deliver always. But the point is like, if we're talking about like my 4 highest ROI habits, first one is waking up super early so that I can have time to dedicate to big dominoes. The second one is so that I can have consistency in my life, and weekdays and weekends are the same to me. So waking up and going to bed at the same time, so that I have consistency in the most basic way. The third, I totally forgot what it was, but I think it was good. And then the fourth is giving first without any feelings of reciprocity. And then the fourth is absolute ownership. And I think that of all the habits that I've had to learn in my life, because each one of those was learned. Like I was not an early riser. I did for a very long time like having different weekend schedules than weekday schedules, from like a sleeping standpoint, etc. To be fair, of all of these, I think the one that came most naturally to me was the third one, which is giving first. And I think that comes honestly from a place of insecurity. It's like I wanted everyone to like me. And so like if I get into a new group, a new networking group, like I spend a lot of time typically asking people what they're struggling with and like what skills I have that match up with their deficits, and then doing everything I can to over deliver to them and like treat them as though they paid me to help them. And then they're like, dude, this guy's amazing. And then I feel like my anxiety goes down inside of a network group. So that might just be a me thing, but it has been something that has, I've been able to drive a lot of value from a monetary standpoint later on in my life by being able to call on people who I had done favors to in the past. And then the fourth is literally never giving anyone power over your situation by saying it's anyone's fault but your own. And I will leave with, I've said this before, but one of my favorite quotes is that we are all self-made, only millionaires and billionaires own it. And so like everyone's like, he's a self-made millionaire, he's a self-made billionaire. It's like that person's a self-made homeless person. That person's a self-made average person. Like, but they don't own that. And there's a reason for it. No one says it because the type of person who's going to say that they're self-made is going to have the habits and the outlooks that is going to achieve the things that they want. And so I will leave you with that as my 4 highest ROI habits. If you have a manager or trainer or a partner or whatever, I would highly, highly recommend, especially the first 2. They're the easiest things in the world to do. Get your bio clock like regular. Like you show up as a leader better, you have more energy, you have more focus. People are like, you get so much stuff done. It's like, because I'm not fucking exhausted all the time. Right? Like, excuse me, like I'm just not tired. You know what I mean? And so I can like work and get things done that are productive and effective uses of time because I'm just not exhausted. And so like, imagine if you like felt good all the time. Like you can do that. It just comes from consistently going to bed at the same time. Dr. Kashi, I will say one more thing. Dr. Kashi jokes that, so he's my PhD buddy who made all of Prestige Labs and is a nutrition genius, PhD by 21 in biochemistry, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, he's like, people just pay me to tell them to do things that they should already know how to do. He's like, I tell them to not eat like an asshole. And I tell them to act like an adult and go to bed on time. They're like, man, like, how do I have more energy? I've got all, like, I'm taking all these stimulants and they're not working. He's like, why don't you try sleeping? And then people sleep, and then they get like, they're like, oh my God, this changed my life. It's like, yeah, like amazing. It's like, so I tell them to like eat consistently every day, the same thing, just eat consistently. I don't even tell them what to eat. And then all of a sudden they start getting healthy because they're just consistent with something, right? It doesn't matter what you're consistent with. Half the time being consistent is in and of itself something that most humans can't do. So I hope this provided value to you. I said this on my Instagram post today, and I kind of like it. May your desire be greater than your obstacles. So lots of love, everyone. Hope you guys have an amazing day and you crush your goals. Try out some of those habits. Try out some of those habits. I think that they are very high ROI habits, and I think that if you do them, your life will improve. So have an amazing day. Catch you soon. Bye.